Welcome in, water signs. This is your weekly collective reading for the week of March 7th. Coming to you live from my car where I'm shuffling my cards on my knees. And that's okay. And that's okay. A couple more shuffles. I just feel like I need to shuffle extra because it's a little on the awkward side. But that's okay. We're moving through. We're moving through. Let's see where we go. Ooh, Hanged Man. Judgment. Justice. Page of Wands. Page of Swords. Lover, lover, lover. Nine of Wands. Page of Cups. Energy on the bottom of the deck. Are we surprised? No, we are not. Death and rebirth. So you are definitely in the midst of a new life cycle. 1:11 on the clock as I say that. So you're in the midst of a new life cycle. And how do we know? Karmic scales are balancing out. Some of you may be dealing with legal proceedings, but either way, recognizing that everything is balancing out, and it's for your highest good. Like, I'm not seeing where any of us are really going to be down and out and on the wrong side of this. You're not. Release the shame and the judgment that you're holding, thinking that you're going to be or that you have done something wrong. In most cases, you have not. We're just balancing shit out. And that balance helps us to see where we're at in life. Where are we? This is a really even keel spot. We can take the time to assess what's going on. We can get to a spot where we can really see, like, we're not just using our intuition here, but it's just factual surveying of the land. And the land is your life, okay? So you're just really getting into the nitty-gritty, really seeing things as they truly present themselves and recognizing that there are choices to be made. There are choices to be made. And they are not, oh my gosh, I was just gonna say they're not black and white. Look at this card. But we're gonna use our mental strength and our emotional intelligence to help us make those decisions. And quite frankly, you need to change your perspective on them. Part of understanding that there are choices to be made and you need to be in a mindset to be able to make them. You might need to learn something new. You might need to just open yourself up to really being a little more analytical. What is that? Right brain instead of left brain? Doesn't matter. Opening yourself up to recognizing, like, there are cold hard facts here. There are rules and regulations here, and we can follow those to help us make our decision. But that doesn't mean we can't look at it objectively, but also from a different perspective. You can be objective and still have a different perspective. And I think that's really what they're getting at here. It's like, cool, there's things to learn, whatever else. There are rules and regulations for what it is I'm doing, but the way I interpret those can be a little creative, and that creativity is coming forward here. Okay, so just kind of put a little fun to it, put a little joy into it. Sometimes the decision-making process, if you can make it somewhat fun or enjoyable, it doesn't matter how hard the decision is you need to make. If you can bring some creative flair to it, all the better. You got through the battle. Now it's time to just let this energy fly. I feel like your decision-making process is going to be swift. Because you're moving into a more analytical space, you can make fast decisions, because when you're at a spot where it is a little more black and white than we would necessarily like, I love to live in the gray, I'm just saying. But when you are in a space where it is more black and white, where there is a textbook that you can go to get answers from, we can move through things relatively swiftly because it's yes or no. Flat out, yes or no. And the more you can make those decisions, the more you can stand up for yourself and be like, this is what I'm doing and I'm going to do it, the faster this energy moves. And that's the beauty of energies. When you're in that death and rebirth, it can go swiftly, but you're in a spot where you're winning. You're winning because not only do you have the emotional intelligence, but you also have the logic coming into the mix. You simply have to release yourself from this energy to sink back into this energy here. You've got it. You've got it. You just have to get... You have to get yourself out of emotional responses. Your emotions are valid, but you don't have to have emotional outbursts as your response. Being emotionally aware and emotionally intelligent just means you're recognizing your emotions and you're allowing them to lead you, but that doesn't mean that you're flying off the handle at all available opportunities, because that's not what's happening here. You're using that emotional intelligence to help you make intuitive decisions that are based on logic. I realize that's almost an oxymoron, but it's really not. And you have what it takes to do all of this. You really do. If you just put a little spin to it, put a little fun to it, allow yourself to see a little bit of a creative solution while sticking within the confines of the rules. I keep hearing of the laws. So I feel like this goes back to our justice and judgment. Some of you might be going through some legal proceedings. The laws are cut and dry, but your interpretation can get a little creative. You know, as long as you're sitting in your morals and you are following your convictions, ain't no thing. Nine of Wands says you get through it. Queen of Wands says you're victorious. Tally ho. Tally ho. Have a good week.